Foz has finally blessed us bigger guys with a longer egg board that also has a longer wheelbase. This is a new 10.25 inch wide long eggs deck that they dropped at the end of last year, and they've finally arrived in Australia. So it's 10.25 inches wide, 9.9 inches over the trucks, 33 inches long, and you can choose between the 15 inch or the 15.5 inch wheelbase. I've been riding egg boards for 2 years now and I absolutely love them, but I've made so many videos complaining about their short 14.25 inch wheelbase and continuously commenting and asking Foz to make a longer egg board or at least extend some of the wheelbases for us bigger guys. Thankfully, enough of us have hassled him for long enough for him to consider it, and then Tim Olsen, or Bale Gun Gary, really pushed for this board to be made, and these exact dimensions are on his next pro model board, which is the tall egg board. So we need to give a massive shout out to Bale Gun Gary and Foz for making this possible. This exact length and wheelbase is what I've wanted in an egg board for so long. I personally wouldn't have chosen it in a 10.25 inch wide though, since I'm usually riding anywhere from a 9.5 up to a 10 inch. But hey, I'm not going to complain about that since I got the length and the wheelbase that I wanted. Plus I've skated a lot of their wide boy and axilla decks, which are still really skatable, so this isn't that big in comparison to those sizes anyway. Either way, I'm super thankful for them making this board and I'm so excited to skate this thing today. I just feel like there's a lot of pressure on me to like this board since I've been complaining and asking for a board like this for so long, so it's actually going to be pretty funny if I end up not liking this board, but I'm sure I'm going to love this thing. So it's all set up, ready to go. I've chosen my 9.5 inch AF1 trucks. Even though it's 9.9 over the trucks, I didn't want to put my 10 inches on because it would sit out a little bit. Plus I really don't mind if my trucks sit slightly in from the outside of the board, so in comparison these suit pretty well. I'm going to head to the park right now, have a little warm-up session and get a feel for how the longer wheelbase and length actually feels. Then we need to put this board through a full session to see if this longer length and wheelbase is actually what I've been needing this whole time, or if I should have just shut my mouth and stopped complaining about their short wheelbases. It did drop to nose slide, so I have to do that again. Damn. Yes. I'm so keen to get that nollie crook down that baby rail because I've never done one down a rail before, but I didn't realize how much time and energy I was going to spend on that. I did probably almost every single tray flip before the nollie crook attempts, and then I remembered that I've got a brand new board. I got used to this so quickly that they're only the clips that I just got then. I did the front board, fakie, switch front board slid across and down, kick flip, nollie back lip down the baby rail, and then I wanted to try nollie crook because I've never nollie crook down a rail before. And my warm-up session turned into like a full battle. But I'm gonna get back into the session here. We're gonna go to another skate park after this so I can do a bit more flip tricks, and there's a 6-stair handrail that I can jump down and test the impact on. But this is feeling so good as if it was just a board that I should have been riding this whole time. The 10.25 doesn't feel too big either. Like I got used to that pretty well as well. So everything's going good so far. I'm gonna stop trying to do battles like that nollie crook and just get back into the session. I've tried this for way too long, wasted way too much time and too much energy. One more and then we're moving to the next park. Last tries, please get it. Oh no. All right. Oh my God. So I know I said I wasn't gonna get into any more battles and I was just gonna have a fun session at Engadine skate park, but damn, I got into such a battle trying that nose manual to front lip. I had some other tricks in mind, but the boys were skating the manual pad to rail, or the rail to manual pad, so I wanted to join in. I did the board side up to nose manual, which was probably like within 5 tries, so I was like, yeah, sweet. Blaze is trying the nose manual to front lip, I'll try that with him. I was there for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm so dead from that. So neither of us got it. We had to call it a session, but we just got to the next skate park. So pulled up at Miranda skate park. I'm gonna hop out here, try and get some more tricks done, but my legs are toasted. I do want to do more flip tricks. There's a nice pyramid hip there. There's some good rails and stuff, but I did plan to jump down the 6-stair rail and the 6-stair to feel the impact, but I really don't think my legs have it today. So I don't know if I'll get that done. So I'm gonna try and get these legs going again, get some more tricks here at the Miranda skate park. And you can probably already tell what I'm going to say at the end, but let's see if this is what I've needed the whole time, or like I said, I should have just shut my mouth about it. But I'm really enjoying this length and this wheelbase on this board. That board slide felt cool. I kind of like tail slopped off the end, but if I can do board slide to hurricane and then pop out, that'll be sick. I'll be hyped with that. I think I just did that first try, but I'll do it again. I'm really not keen to jump, but I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to at least board side the rail, ollie the stairs, and 50 the hubba, just to get a little impact under me and see. I already know the board's going to be amazing because it's feeling great so far, but still need to do the impact testing. So hopefully this goes well. Okay, that wasn't bad. Hopefully the board side is first try as well. Now the 50 down the hubba, but it's going alright so far. Ruined my streak, but I got that next try. Impact felt good, onto the flip tricks now. Haven't done any nollie flip tricks yet, so I'm going to try those on the hip here. That was so much better, but so weird to get used to the new timing. Nollie heel next, or nollie backside flip. But the timing and the weight is so odd. Definitely need That felt a lot easier after I figured the nollie timing out. So hopefully the nollie heel goes well next too. That Didn't feel like I planned, but it still felt good. So now they're my main nollie tricks. I'll try my other tricks, like backside flip and big spin, type of rotation movements. See how this thing like whips and rotates. Alright, last trick of the night, the backside flip. Hopefully this goes well too. Heaps of reverb on that one, but it felt really good and controlled, so I'ma take it. I was way too tired to talk when I got home last night, so I saved it for today. But I have a lot to talk about with this board and go over how it performed throughout each test that I did. First of all, like I already mentioned, I was starting to battle that nollie crooked grind after the tray flip. I landed so many tray flips in a row, but I was kind of disregarding those because I was trying the nollie crook for so long. And then eventually, after I landed that nollie crook and just sat down to have a rest, I realized, wait a second, I'm on a brand new board that I've never tried before. And I seemed to forget because it felt so natural riding these dimensions. It felt so perfect to me. Before I get into how it performed throughout all of the tests, I already know this is where I belong. So I'm gonna start off by saying I am so thankful and grateful that they made this board. It feels so good. And the 10.25 inch width was not hard to get used to at all. And it felt good by the end of the session. There was no things that I couldn't do. Like it didn't feel like this board was too big to do anything. So all of my ledge and rail tricks felt the same. They felt really good and comfortable because I could spread my feet apart a bit more. If I show you some previous clips of me grinding rails and stuff, you can see how my feet are pretty much on the ends of the kicks. Like I need a longer board for me to stand more comfortably. I hadn't done a backtail big spin out for a long time, so I was really hyped to get that. The flip tricks were good. The kick flips felt fine. It just felt normal. I'm not really good at kick flips anyway, so I didn't expect to have any better kick flips, but I was doing them consistently, even though they weren't pretty. Tray flips, like I said, felt really good. I was able to slow it down and control it a lot more instead of just whipping it really quickly. And I can't really do tray flips on things where I go fast because I have to stand with my feet so close together. But this board really allowed me to have a wider stance and go faster and be more comfortable. Now the only negative I found in the performance of this board was when I was trying the nollie flips at first. So many of them I was just trying to pop and do a nollie flip and my nose wasn't hitting and it felt like my timing was completely off. I'm used to the 14.25 inch wheelbase where it's shorter, so you're just popping really quick and the board feels lighter because there's a low lever. Obviously extending the length of the board and the wheelbase creates a longer lever by the end of it, so it took me a fair while to get used to the timing and when I needed to pop and flick for the nollie flip, and that's a trick that I'm pretty consistent at, so I was getting pretty surprised how hard that was. But I eventually got used to the timing. I had to focus more on popping the nose first and then flicking, so just little tweaks to my technique. I figured it out eventually, and then the nollie backside flip came a lot faster because I figured out that technique I needed. So that's my biggest negative. I won't say it's an actual negative, it's just the hardest thing I had to work for. I just had to get used to the timing of that nollie. Nollie heel didn't feel that much harder either once I figured out the timing of the nose. The big spin felt good. Usually I can't pop that trick very high. It just whips around and scoops. But because it's longer, it doesn't whip as quick. So I was able to actually pop it and then turn around and get it properly. And then the backside flip was hard, but I'm not a very good kick flipper. So the one I landed, I just took it because it felt good enough anyway. I completely forgot to skate any transition and test this in the transition. I'm not interested in transition skating personally. So I had an idea that I needed to skate transition, but it wasn't in the front of my mind in that session. So I completely forgot about it. So are these the dimensions I've been looking for this whole time? Or should I have just shut my mouth and skated the 14.25 wheelbases without complaining? I think you guys know the answer to that already. I absolutely love this board. I had so much fun on it. It felt so much more comfortable. This feels like what I should have been riding already. I got used to the shorter wheelbases on the other Heroin eggs, but it was almost like a compromise because I love their boards, I love their shapes, I love how I can ride a wider board, but they taper in towards the kick so they're still skatable. So I compromised and I got used to the 14.25 inch wheelbase even though I want a longer one. This board is where I need to be. I was so surprised at how quickly I got used to it and forgot I even had a new board because it felt so comfortable. So yes, this is the dimensions I need. I'm so hyped to have this board. 33 long, 15 inch wheelbase, but I would not choose a 10.25. Although I got used to it pretty much instantly, I was getting fatigued so much easier. I skated a normal 6-hour session like I usually do when I'm filming a video. 3 hours at Engadine, 3 hours at Miranda, and I was smoked. My legs were dead so quick, I didn't have much energy, and my legs are in a lot of pain today. This could be to do with a lot of the repetitive tray flips I did before I did the nollie crooked grind, and then a lot of the nose manual to front lip attempts. They were the two tricks I spent the most time on, which could have accumulated a lot, and that's what killed my legs as well. But I do have 54mm wheels, and I've got hollow trucks, and this board didn't feel heavy as I was skating it, but man, my legs were fatiguing quick. It was so noticeable how much my legs were dying on this thing. I fully understand why they use a 14.25 wheelbase with the wide boards, because the majority of skateboarders could not skate this thing. Some of the boys hopped on my board and tried to skate it, and they could feel how heavy and how long it was. So I understand it's not a very marketable board. I'm super grateful that Foz made this board and Bale Gungari pushed for it to be his next pro model, the tall boy, but I don't think these are going to be coming around a lot. But either way, I am super impressed. I really love these dimensions, and it just sucks that I can't use this as my daily board because it's not going to be a regular drop in their seasons. Like, it's so good that I don't want to skate it every day because I don't want it to ruin so quick. So if you're like me, over 6 foot, almost 100 kilos, I definitely recommend you getting one of these boards if you can get your hands on it. So many of you guys already requested that I get this board and I make this video for you to see if you want to get it or not, and because you guys have heard me for the last 2 years complaining about how much I want a longer egg. So hopefully from all the tests I did and the way this board performed, you guys will understand how important wheelbase is now and why I wanted something longer for so long. But to get more of an idea of how important wheelbase is, you can check out the wheelbase comparison video I did right here.